Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. And even though the NFL season is almost to an end, boy, am I excited because it's Super Wildcard Weekend. That's right. Unfortunately, the man at the bottom is not going to have a good show because Gilbay's Packers, for the third year in a row, choked the game at home, and this time to be eliminated from the playoffs. But we'll get into that on what's on our mind later. However, in the playoffs is Gil's boy Gino. How do you like that, Gil? The guy you've been cheering for all year, Gino Smith, he's in there. Hey, think of it this way, Gil. Could have been worse. You could have got in and got absolutely smacked around by the 49ers. So you saved yourself a lot of pain. Okay? Your boy Rodgers wants to retire now. Imagine if he played in that game. He wouldn't ever come back in his life. He would have went to Jeopardy right away. So now let's go on to the wildcard weekend picks without Gilbay's Packers. However, the first game is with our 49ers. That's right. Because Gilbay lost his game at home, we get the Seabags at home. Now, for those who want to know what the records are, Gil and Jose tied with 10 wins last week. I myself had 12. So I did gain a couple of games, but it's going to be tough sledding for me to come back. So the battle's between Gil and Jose, which makes me perfectly happy. However, we have our biggest spread of the week, San Francisco at home to Seattle for game one, Saturday at 4:30. The 49ers have won 10 in a row. Seattle squeaked in by beating the Rams barely in overtime, and then Detroit obviously winning in Green Bay. Gil, you already know who we're going to take, so I'll ask you who do you like in this game?
Yeah, San Fran.
Yeah. Just for fun, because we only got 6 games. By how much?
I'm going to say 34-17.
Okay. Jose?
San Fran's going to win this game. But it's going to be one of those hard-fought games, and it'll be, I'll say, 28-17.
They're going to take San Francisco. But I think they're going to win 34-24. I think this will be a 10-point game. I think that it depends on the 49ers defense. But I have no concerns about the offense. Brock Purdy's been unbelievable since he's been in on the team. I am a little worried about playoff nerves, but it won't happen in this game. It'll happen next week, depending on his opponent. But I think he'll be fine against Seattle. So I got the 49ers winning by 10. Now we get to a tough game as the LA Chargers go to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. If you recall earlier this year, the Jaguars absolutely destroyed the Chargers in LA. I believe it was 36-10, 37-10, something like that. Obviously, it's the playoffs, different story. The Chargers are hot. They're a much better, healthier team, although Mike Williams is questionable with a back. Jacksonville's won, I believe, 6 in a row, although they were shaky against Tennessee last week, beating a third stringer. Jose, what do you got in this one?
I like LA Chargers in this one. I think they're getting healthy. They're playing good football. I just disagreed last week of the coach playing the starters almost the whole game against Denver. It cost them one of their best wide receivers, and Mike Williams getting hurt. That was a stupid move. If you wanted them to play, you could made them play until halftime or a couple of snaps. You guys didn't need the game. You were not going to go up or down. So that was stupid of them. But I still think with Keenan Allen, Eckler, the defense getting healthy, Joey Bosa's back now. They're supposed to get a couple more guys on the defensive end. I think Jaguars were a good had a good run, but I think it ends this weekend against the LA Chargers.
Yo.
Yeah, I agree with Jose. I like the Chargers as well. Herbert's there, run and gun. Eckler can run the ball. I think, I'm going to say, they're going to win. The Chargers are going to win.
I have the Chargers as well. I think this is a revenge game. I think that the Chargers have woken up in the second half. I didn't like what I saw from Jacksonville last week when they could have lost that game to a third stringer. They were lucky to get that fumble call for a touchdown. I think the Chargers are getting hot at the right time. I've seen teams like this get into the playoffs as the wild card. Gil's Packers did it once, where they look bad the whole year and they get hot at the end. They sneak in as a wild card. Chargers are a very dangerous team. I think they win this game, and I believe they go on to take on Kansas City and give them a hell of a battle in the next round. So I got the Chargers as well. Growing pains for Trevor Lawrence and Etienne and all the young kids over there. I'm not going to waste too much time on this one. We have the Miami Dolphins without Tua going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Jose.
Buffalo. They played well against the New England after the guy got his heart attack and stuff like that. So they should be ready for this game. Miami's not going to play with Tua. They're going to play with Thompson again, I believe. So that's a big loss right there. They have the weapons to keep close to the Buffalo, but Buffalo at the end will win this game.
Gil?
Yeah, Buffalo's winning. No Tua. I don't think even stands a chance.
Yeah, I got the Bills as well. I will say that last week, the Bills won because of 2 punt returns. And so Josh Allen has to be careful with the football. The Miami defense played very well against the Jets.
Yep.
Now, I understand it's the Jets, but Josh Allen can't turn the football over, because if he does, that opens the door for Miami for the big play. Although with Tua out, that's probably not going to happen. Bills win, but I think it might be closer than we think. Maybe a 10-point game here. It was only 12 against the Patriots, who were awful on offense all year, with 2 punt returns. So I think it'll be closer than we think, but with no Tua, Buffalo wins. Now we get to the game that we're going to talk about after the show a lot more, but we'll talk about it now. The G-Men, who gave Philadelphia a hell of a scare last week after Philly put the game away 19-0, thought it was over, almost came back. They go to Minnesota to take on the Fraud Vikings. That's right, I said it. The Fraud Vikings, who beat up Nathan Peterman last week. The Bears should be embarrassed for starting Nathan Peterman, but we all know why they did it. They wanted the number 1 pick, and they got it. So congrats to them. Gil, who do you like in this game? This probably is going to be the most competitive game of the week. We'll see about Dallas, Tampa Bay when we talk about that later. But who do you got in this one?
Believe it or not, I'm going to take the Vikings.
Wow, you are taking Kirk Cousins in a playoff game. I'm stunned.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings. And that's as far as they go, but I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Jose, the winner plays San Francisco if they win, correct?
Well, it depends on the Dallas and the Tampa Bay game. So
that's right. Go ahead, Jose. Who do you like?
I told you I'm taking the Giants in an upset this week. I just think this is the game for the upset of the week. I think even last week with the backups, they still played tough against the Philadelphia team. They rushed the ball good. They've been passing the ball lately pretty well with Richie James, and you could say Saquon Barkley is going to be tough to stop. They'll figure out a plan to stop Jefferson, because if you stop Jefferson, then Kirk Cousins is going to be lost. He's going to start throwing picks. So I'm taking New York Giants in an upset.
I'm also going to take the Giants. If the Giants get the running game going early and get up on Minnesota, I don't see a comeback this time, unless Daniel Jones starts throwing picks all over the field. I think the Giants can win this game. If they can stop Justin Jefferson, they can win this game. They only beat them by 3 with a 61-yard field goal in the regular season. So and now Cook has been kind of, shaken up in the last game there. So they might be without him. I think the Giants have a great chance to win this game. I'll take the Giants to once again put Cousins in the choking hazard zone, like every year in the playoffs. Giants win by 3. Now we go to Baltimore. The Ravens, who may or may not have Lamar Jackson. I'm voting against them having Lamar Jackson. Going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, the screwed Bengals, who are going to get screwed if they move on to the next round. But having said that, Jose, who do you got?
If Lamar Jackson plays or he doesn't play, Cincinnati's going to whip their asses, and Cincinnati's going to win that game.
Gil?
Yeah, I agree. Cincinnati's gonna win that game.
Yeah, I got Cincy. I think they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, so there's no way I'm picking them to lose to Baltimore at home. So I got the Bengals. Now we go to the Monday Nighter, which probably will be the most interesting game of the week, with two of the most disappointing teams to end the season. You got Tampa Bay, who has been really average all year and has been awful for most of it, against a Dallas team who's completely fallen apart in the second half of the year for the second consecutive year. So you have the choking hazard against the GOAT, but a GOAT that has a team with shaky confidence. Gil, this has got to be the toughest game to pick all week. Who do you got? Dallas at Tampa Bay.
Now, it took me a while to think about it. I try to vision this as much as I can, and in my mind, I see Dallas for some reason. Don't ask me why. I just see Dallas.
Jose?
Um, I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I picked them to win, to go to the NFC Championship game at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to stick with it. I think they've been playing football better lately. I think Tom Brady's been getting those deep passes with Evans. They're starting to get a little chemistry going on with Godwin as well. And that defense, the last weeks they played very well. So I think they're gonna shut down the run game of Dallas, and they'll force Dak Prescott to throw the ball, which I think he's in. You guys talk about Cousins throwing picks; he's the same thing in the same league as him throwing picks. So I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
And
this
plus,
was
Tom Brady's 7-0 against Dallas, so
yeah.
you can't go against that either.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest games I've ever had to pick. But when I look at this game, I think Dallas should win the game. But then I look at it, Tom Brady's 7-0 against Dallas. But even if I put that aside, Tom Brady has 33 playoff wins and Dak Prescott has one. Um, what I saw against Sam Howell last week made me change my mind about this game. I already knew that Dallas was gonna play Tampa Bay, and I
Then I
was
tell
picking
then I
Dallas.
then I tell
Yeah,
you how it was good.
yeah. I mean, but Dallas made him look good too. Like let Dallas. I don't think Dallas could have played a worse football game than they did last week. And I was Dallas all the way in this game. I'm like, I'm gonna take Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas. And after seeing that game, there's zero chance I can take this Dallas team against the GOAT in the playoffs. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. Um, because Dallas is just known to choke these games away. And Tom Brady's the GOAT in the playoffs. Like, how can I take Dallas?
It's
So
not even about the choking. It's just about Parsons. Micah Parsons, he's hurt. Like you can see
yeah,
that he's not 100%.
yeah,
And
yeah,
without him, that defense with him not getting to the quarterbacks, it opens them up.
yeah,
It's the same thing with the 49ers. If they can't
yeah,
get pressure on the quarterback, they'll expose the weak secondary and they'll get eaten alive. So that's what's happening with the Cowboys right now. They're not getting pressure
yeah.
to the quarterback. Micah Parsons is hurt. You can see that he's not the 100%, and that's going to take a toll on them.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
with Brady giving them time, I think he's going to eat them alive.
Dallas's defense has been awful the last few weeks as well. They're just allowing everyone to go up and down the field on them. Tampa Bay beat them 19-3 in the first game of the season when they were healthy. They haven't been healthy since, and they're getting all their guys back for this game. I think Tampa Bay is going to surprise them, and the next team they play, which I believe will be the Eagles, will have a problem with them as well. So
Who
I think if Tampa Bay wins, do they not play the Eagles next?
depends on the Minnesota Vikings and the Giants.
Okay, okay. So we'll see
If
how
the
it works
Giants
out.
beat them, then Tampa Bay will play the 49ers.
Okay, well, that's a different story because we
Yeah.
already saw what happened when they played the 49ers. But depending on the matchups, Brady's going to scare a lot of people. I don't like how the team played this year, but Dallas, I can't trust the Cowboys. There's just no way. Not against Brady. So those are our picks, guys. A short show. What I wanted to do was get a quick. I mean, we all made our Super Bowl picks before the year. Gil's Broncos are out, and I believe did you pick the Packers to be in the Super Bowl as well?
No, I don't think so. I would have to go back and check. I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. So Denver's out. I believe me and Jose had the Bills and the 49ers. Is that correct?
Yep.
So we're still alive, but we'll revisit our picks who we like in the Super Bowl now. So before we go, since it's just starting, Gil, who do you like to be the AFC and NFC representative, and who wins the Super Bowl? We'll do it now, just so it's legit before the playoffs.
Well, I'd say AFC right now. I'm in between the Bills and the Chiefs. So, but at the end of the day, I think the Chiefs are gonna go. And then NFC, I like San Francisco. I think
Jose?
the Eagles
Yeah.
are a fraud. And then
I agree.
I'm gonna take KC over the edge there to win the Super Bowl though.
Yeah, hard to argue with Purdy at quarterback. Jose.
I'm going to take. I know I picked the Bills at the beginning of the year, but I don't know if they're gonna win the AFC this year. There's too many good teams right now, and if that game played out on Monday, I think the Cincinnati Bengals would have beat them. So I'm gonna take Cincinnati in the AFC, and they'll beat out the LA Chargers in the AFC Championship game. I think the Chargers, if they play the Chiefs, I think they'll beat them. And I'm gonna take the Niners over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they end up playing each other in the NFC Championship game or whatever. But I'm taking the Niners, so it'll be a Bengals championship for me.
Yeah, I picked this about 5 weeks ago. I like Cincinnati to get to the Super Bowl to play the 49ers. This was when Jimmy G was the quarterback. Brock Purdy's been significantly better than Jimmy G, and so I like them even more now. And I believe San Francisco edges out Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. So that's my pick, and that's our show. Now coming up is what's on our mind. We decided to change the name of the show so we can open it up a little bit more, and we're gonna bring back King. And Mr. Brian has something to say to us. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that, because I'm curious what he has something for all three of us. I wonder what he has to say. Because if he gets excited about beating Nathan Peterman, I'm going to put him in his place. But we'll see what he has to say. But that's next on the Reach Report. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you guys think. I want more subscribers. I want more comments. Miami guy, I know you're out there. You know you have no chance this week with Skylar Thompson, right? Why don't you comment now and give me something? Tell me they have a chance to beat Buffalo. I know you're not going to say nothing because you know you're going to get pounded in Buffalo. But hey, at least give me some hope that they have a chance. But other guys, comment. Brian, you too. Mr. Comment Man. Mr. Guy wants to come on the show. Talk about your Vikings. Give me a comment on your Vikings this week. You're going to be on the show next, but we'll hear from you then. But until then, I'm the Mouth of North Andrews. That's Jose Carlos Gomes, and that's Gil Santos. We'll see you on What's on Your Mind and on the next Reach Report, which is coming up next.